welcome to the RSG Podcast, episode 78? 78. Also, we're on Stitcher now, so if you...
Sure it's not 100.
Yeah, it's not 100.
Good hustle on that intro, by the way.
I really wanted to get into it. I felt, like, today's the day. I've been sick for the past couple of days. I'm just gonna go for it, man.
Yeah.
Just put all my heart into it.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, but we haven't started recording yet, so we're gonna need you to go back and do it again. This time, twice as much hustle.
With feeling.
Right.
You left it all on the floor, man.
Really didn't believe it.
We're on Stitcher now, so check us out. We are pending iTunes invite. If I could get into my iTunes email, I have a email appointment scheduled at 8 o'clock to reset my password and thus get in to change my Apple ID.
Wow.
An email appointment?
Email appointment, yes. Okay, it's been a 3-day process, okay? So, initially on Friday after I submitted after we got on Stitcher and it was approved and I was able to finally get the feed to work the way it's supposed to, I was like, cool, now I'm going to submit to iTunes because that's what was fucking us up last time. So I get us onto iTunes and it's like, cool, we're going to send you an email. You're validated, we'll send you an email if we're going to accept your shit. And then I sat there for an hour and I was like, oh, I don't have access to that email address anymore. So I should probably get that.
Oh, God.
So I went on to apple.something to get your, to change your app. And then it asked me authentication questions, right?
Right.
I set these authentication questions up when, 2006, when I first got started.
Forever ago.
Yeah, and so it's like, what's your favorite car? And I'm like, oh, what was my favorite car at that time?
Right. Life's different now.
Right. So then I finally, I locked myself out, so I called tech support, right?
Yeah.
I was only on the phone for 10 minutes, though, to get a hold of somebody.
That's surprisingly good.
Right, so...
Tell your text to quit it while we're trying to...
Look, I'm sorry. All right,
okay.
I'm sorry. I'll tell them to knock it off. But anyway.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as someone pointing out that you got a text.
Right, almost. But, so then I talked to the person, and I had locked myself out. Because while I'm on hold, I'm like, well, I'll try this one more time.
Right.
And I get locked out. So the guy's like, he's looking at my screen, he goes, did you just try it one more time? I was like, yeah. He was like, dude. He was like, now you've locked us both out. So he was like, I'm going to have somebody call you back tomorrow in 24 hours at 8 p.m. So this was yesterday. So I'm like, all right, cool. I get over there, this guy calls me back. And these guys have been really cool, though, the whole time. They haven't, aside from him berating me a little bit about getting locked out.
Well,
I kind of had that coming.
Yeah,
you
so I get on there, I get everything set up, and guys get into it, and he's looking at my stuff. Apparently, they can't really see my questions or give me answers to them or whatever, but he's like, it's close, but I don't want to get us locked out, so let's try all these different things. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to send you a password reset. Here's the catch, though. I was like, what's the catch? He goes, I send it to you now. It doesn't actually arrive until 24 hours from this moment. So at 8:22, you're going to get an email to go in and change your password. He goes, and it's only got a 3-hour window. So if you don't answer that email and get in there and change your password and your time within that 3-hour period, you're going to have to call us back. We're going to do this all over again. He was like, so don't miss your email. It's like, shit. He goes, do you want me to call? Do you want me to set up some sort of reminder for you? Because they can set up reminders on your Apple devices. It's weird. But so now I'm waiting for another hour and a half or so until I get that email. So then once I log in, hopefully it'll get access to it, and then I'll be able to change it to my Gmail. Actually, I might just change it to the podcast. No, I'm not going to do that because I don't want you guys getting all my shit. So anyway, we're probably going to be on iTunes here in the next week. So
cool. Chevy Malibu. It's the answer to your question.
I wish I had a Chevy Malibu. I'd paint it baby blue with a white top and cruise around.
Were you just misspelling smart car? It's not that hard, man.
One word.
The guy told me, he goes, wait, you actually answer these? I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you actually put the question's answer in there. I was like, yeah. He goes, you don't ever do that. He's like, you just make it something stupid that that never changes, that's always going to be your street answer. I was like, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, you never think about, what is my favorite car right now?
Yeah, because I'm thinking,
no,
yeah.
You just put something dumb.
I could see myself setting this up, misspelling it horribly back in 2006, going, yeah, this is going to be cool.
Yeah.
No one's going to get this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, like the car from Carrie or whatever.
Christine or whatever.
Yeah, just pick Christine. That's our favorite car, Christine.
That's actually not a bad gig. I might do that. No, Not going to do that at all.
Attention internet.
Attention internet. My question answer is...
It's right, E-Step, restep@gmail.com.
Well, it's funny because, like, the guy was trying to spell my username, and he kept fucking it up. He kept, like, messing with it. I'm not going to say it here because people were like, but he finally was like, can you, like, write it out on your screen so I can look at it while I'm putting it in? It's like, sure.
Nice.
Anyway, so, slow news week. Slow week in general, I think.
Yeah, in general, I think there was not a lot that happened. Warner Bros. Announced that Venom. They're going to make a Venom movie.
Yeah.
And they also announced the Dark Tower movie.
That's
the Stephen King trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
The what?
The Stephen King book
series.
The Dark Tower.
Dark Tower, yeah.
I've never read Stephen King at all. I've never been excited to read Stephen King.
I like Stephen King books. I mean, you're guaranteed to get the same thing. I mean, he's written so many books that you're just kind of like, is this going to be a rehash? Is he going to do something different?
Dark Tower, wasn't that a fantasy one?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was not horror, really.
And they've also announced that Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba will be starring in the Dark Tower movie.
Okay.
Stephen King doesn't translate to film very well. Just like all his TV movie, like all his books have gone to TV movies and TV series, they haven't been that good. I'm worried that this is not going to be good. Because he's so detailed. He's so his books are so vast, and you have, if it's Hollywood, who's doing it?
Somebody, Warner Brothers, I think.
Probably going to be a 90-minute movie. Maybe.
I would expect it to be longer than that.
You think so?
Yeah, but there's 8 books in the Dark Tower series, and they're all
going to do 8 movies?
4 inches thick.
Yeah.
So you can't do can you even do one book in a movie, realistically speaking? You know?
Look,
I don't know.
They can make it happen. They took a Hobbit and made 3 movies out of it, so... we added source material from this.
Yeah,
we added source material from that.
If we got the editors from The Hobbit to do it, or the writers from The Hobbit to do it, it would be a 22-movie series.
Would you kind of want to see that anyway? Like, wouldn't you like to have your best... Like, would you rather see a 20-episode, miniseries of your favorite book?
Well, let's face it. For book adaptations, my preferred medium would be Netflix.
Fair.
Yeah. Do a Netflix series. Do a Netflix or an HBO series. But HBO series are too expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you need to do a Netflix series and HBO series that has a big budget.
Right.
Because otherwise, and this is mostly taking into consideration the sort of books that you like and that I like. The sort of anywhere from high fantasy to high sci-fi, sort of epic stories. That would require a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of them that can be done, I think, relatively cheaply with a minimum amount of CGI.
There's some, I think.
Depending. Yeah. But...
some of Zelazny's books, I think, could be done fairly cheaply.
Yeah. We could do Nine Princes and Amber, I think, pretty cheaply, really, overall. You don't need to... the CGI you need to do is not going to be super expensive CGI.
Yeah.
So... And actually, I would love to see a Nine Princes and Amber, multi-season TV show.
Yeah.
4 or 5 seasons or whatever. You do 5 seasons, spread the whole 10 books over the 5 seasons. You do Corwin's Adventures and then Merlin's Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about, so on that topic of books and miniseries and stuff like that, so we've seen Shania Chronicles is now on MTV, and there's also...
It's all done.
Yeah, so the season is finished. We have not finished watching it. The season is finished.
It didn't really grab me, so...
I'm going to finish it probably this week
What is the other one on ABC? Was it The Divergent? That's a book series they're making a...
Shadowhunters?
Shadowhunters.
Yeah,
so
the
what do you guys...
Mortal Bones people or whatever.
Yeah, what do you guys think the next book series to movie is going to be?
Man.
Is it going to be... Well, okay, the question is, has Hollywood burnt out on teen angst?
Oh, no.
Books
that
yet?
Never goes away. There's always new teens to fill that void.
Yeah, but they haven't been doing... They haven't doing the books as much... it's really started with... I blame the Hunger Games in reality.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
For actually Twilight in reality. Ooh. And then Hunger Games. Because they're that you get 2 teens, you make a love triangle, you get a teen love triangle of teen angst, and then set them into some sort of other setting.
Oh, like you said, is Hollywood burnt out? No. Hollywood will never be burnt out because Hollywood has never been... they will never be burnt out on money. Ever.
What I meant was...
They love money.
Are people burnt out enough on it? The newest Allegiant, the newest Divergent movie did not do well.
That doesn't surprise me.
Didn't make a lot of money. So... will they find another book series like that? And the answer is, I don't know what it will be because I don't read those books very often.
Eventually someone will come out with the books. It didn't do that well because I think that crowd is getting older. Like, from when the books were released, from when the last couple of movies were released, I mean, they're like 4 or 5 years older now.
Yeah.
You know, and not 15 anymore.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't really matter.
Oh.
You know, I mean...
Well, and none of them were good.
Yeah, none of them were good from what I understand. But I haven't watched any of them, so whatever.
Neither have I.
But, I mean...
So I don't know what the next transition is going to be because I don't keep up with a lot of, like...
Those books?
Young adult, teen angst fiction.
You know what? BS. Yeah, you do.
He's throwing in the gun, calling him out.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Fair.
Example?
I remember Hunger Games.
I did read the Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger
But that's
Games
the only one.
is a great example.
Yeah.
That's the only one that I read.
Sorry, it was South Park when Randy Marsh is actually Lord. Mm-hmm. And Lord did the song.
Yeah.
I remember that. So also this week, and you have to look at this picture.
I've seen it.
There is a picture of the new
Power Rangers.
The new Power Rangers. Yeah. And like, right?
You look that up. Look it up so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It looks just like the 80s version. Like it has
90s, you mean?
Yeah,
I love
90s.
Except there's one extra Asian guy in there.
Yeah. So they have like
they can bring an Asian guy in for Power Rangers, but they can't bring an Asian guy in for Iron Fist.
That's right, it's bullshit.
Yeah. And so the I'm assuming Latino lady. I love how she has like a jacket and another shirt tied around her waist that she couldn't possibly be wearing.
So it's like grunge.
It just looks like a flannel, man.
Yeah, but she has like that and a jacket on also, and that tie around her waist. There's like so many extra accoutrements. They're like, we need more stuff.
That's how
We
like
need more stuff.
young person fashion works, man.
Mm-hmm.
More stuff.
Exactly.
We need more stuff.
Have you never seen a hipster?
I have seen hipsters.
Go to
This dude
any
right here with his
16-bit.
flannel with the vest.
Are they wearing Chuck Taylors? is
1,
important.
2. They're wearing the new Chuck Taylors that are not like the straight up old black ones, but yes, two of them are wearing Chuck Taylors, and the other two are wearing boots. And then
All I know is
the
that
Latino
like,
girl has on literally like 80s high tops.
all I know is that like it's not. I don't know why like this even matters. I really don't understand why this is a thing.
But I was like,
Does this actually surprise you?
a little bit.
Well, how?
A little bit,
Does this surprise you at all? How?
Because I thought they would have tried harder. I don't know. Maybe not.
That's funny. Have you not seen Power Rangers?
I have seen Power Rangers.
Okay, well, I feel like you're having the same issue with the new Power Rangers picture as a lot of people are having with the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Okay,
Nice.
that seems fair, I suppose.
I mean, go back and watch Power Rangers again and be like, oh, they're actually trying harder
The
here.
rated R version that the
did.
guy made the short film of doesn't count. You gotta watch the cartoon, or not the cartoon,
Right.
but the Saturday morning
the
show.
original one, yeah. So,
It was Starbuck. Fucking
Yeah.
Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
yeah,
The female one, not the male one from the 70s.
the original Battlestar Galactica.
But I don't know. The Power Rangers, I'm looking at them like, well, they got one more minority in there, so that's good, I guess.
Right.
That's cool.
They did get an extra minority in there.
Yeah, and I think they're switching around some of the rules a little bit. I mean, I'll put money on the Caucasian female being Pink Ranger. I'll put money on that shit.
Oh, absolutely. She's gotta be Pink Ranger, right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing the Latina lady is gonna be Yellow Ranger,
Yeah, that's my guess as well.
right?
Caucasian male, gonna be Red Ranger.
Red Ranger.
My guess is Blue Ranger's gonna be the black guy. And
Black Ranger.
Black Ranger's gonna be the Asian guy, yeah.
You know they're gonna go black guy?
No.
I bet they do.
I bet they don't.
I bet they do.
No, look at him. Look at him. Who's the nerdiest looking one there? In that picture.
The black guy.
Right.
That's why he's the
And the
Blue Ranger.
nerd
Is Blue Ranger.
Was the
Blue
blue? Yeah, you're right.
Right.
He had glasses. He was a nerd.
He was
Yeah.
he was
Nerds. Nerds. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that's my guess.
That's fair. I suppose that's a good enough reason for him to be Blue Ranger.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I think they're just
So
like
you think the Asian Ranger's gonna be the I don't have to do what you guys say we have to do.
maybe
See, what's
Because
Asian
somebody has
Ranger
to be
yellow?
Raphael, right? I mean, somebody's got to fill the Raphael role where he's like...
They didn't really have a Raphael...
team members.
They didn't really have a Raphael role until Green Ranger happened.
Yeah, he was a rebel.
Yeah. And then later on, White Ranger.
He killed a guy.
I wonder if the original
Like,
Tommy's
legit.
going to come back and do this one.
He can't, he's in
Green
jail.
Ranger in this one.
He's in jail.
Who, wait.
Tommy, the kid who played Tommy. Or no, Tommy was Red Ranger.
Tommy's... No,
Tommy
he's not
was the Green Ranger.
Jason David Frank?
Yeah.
He's not in jail. It wasn't him. It was someone else from a later series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like...
Yes, there are like 9 different versions of the Green Ranger at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. I had no idea.
Yeah, he was from a completely... It wasn't Jason David Frank. He still, like, does stuff on the internet. Apparently he does, like, live Facebook stuff all the time. I only know this is because Kayleen gets updates for it every time it happens. She's like, oh, Jason David Frank went live on Facebook. I'm like, are you going to watch it? She's like, no. I'm like, why do you even have updates for that then?
You can go live on... Of course you can go live on Facebook. What am I talking about?
Yeah, we're showing our age.
We really are.
Yeah.
We really are.
But anyway, back to the problem Roby's having with the Power Rangers and how that segues perfectly into the new Ghostbusters trailer
Yeah.
that just recently came out.
So we've all watched the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen it. If you haven't seen it, don't be retarded. Go watch it.
That's Ryan making a thumbs down because he can't see it.
Bombed.
Ryan strongly disapproves of the new Ghostbusters.
Okay, Ryan, go. Let's let Ryan go first as probably the largest dissenter.
It just seems kind of stupid. Like now it could just be a bad trailer. I mean, it very well could be. But I mean, you got the same class system that you had in the first one. By class system, I mean like you got the nerd and this person and that person and.
Yeah, someone who's supposed to be Egon.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, why do you
Someone who's supposed to be Venkman.
It's almost like a reskin but female, which is cool.
Wait,
but
so which one of them is Venkman, though?
the one that got puked on in the beginning with like
That's Egon.
Oh, that's Egon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
No, are you sure McCarthy's not Egon?
Okay, wait. What are the actresses' names now? Let's see.
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig, I think, is Egon.
Because she's smart at physics?
Yes, she's the physicist.
She's a nerd. She's got glasses.
Yeah.
And then I think
Yeah, but when McCarthy comes out, when
the larger lady,
It's supposed to be. I
Who's
think it's
that?
gonna be Murray.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, I think is going to be Dan Aykroyd's character.
You think so?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then I think the girl.
I think you got him switched. I think you got him switched.
For real?
I do.
Why would you think that?
Did you see the line when she comes out of the like when what's her name pulls up in the hearse?
Yeah.
When Ernie Hudson's
Yeah,
counterpart
Ernie Hudson,
pulls
yeah.
up in the hearse because they made the black lady the same as the black guy in the first one.
Right.
He's like the down to earth guy who
Yeah.
knows the city.
No, I
whatever.
understand.
Same way. When she pulls up in the hearse the first time, and she goes, and Melissa McCarthy comes out and goes, "You did not specify that your vehicle was going to be a hearse or whatever."
Right.
She sounded a lot more like Egon than Kristen Wiig's character ever does.
Except for Kristen, they already said that Kristen Wiig's character was the physicist, which is what Egon was.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they performed the same function in the movie.
Pretty sure it does.
Because Egon was the guy who was like too smart for his own good.
He was, but he didn't make those sort of comments. That Dan Aykroyd's character made those sort of comments. He was like a big nerd who was just busy being a nerd.
So who's the Bill Murray character?
Maybe I'm misremembering.
The girl with the wig.
Okay.
Yeah, the blonde girl.
The one that didn't have any real dialogue and.
Yeah, which is weird because that's where
Because Bill Murray
all
the dialogue.
Bill Murray had all the dialogue.
So I don't know. I guess another issue I have. I mean, granted they're ghosts and something. They got to make your ghost unique, but it just seemed a little too bright for me for ghosts. But at the same time,
They were bright in the 80s.
I know.
They
But I was also like
absolutely
9. But
One of the biggest ghosts was a giant fucking marshmallow man. Right.
Yes, it was.
A giant marshmallow. Maybe he wasn't bright, but he was a goddamn marshmallow man.
he wasn't wide enough for my taste. No, but I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like we're not getting anything new with Ghostbusters. We're just getting.
Fair enough.
We're just getting Ghostbusters again, reskinned with a bunch of girls. Which, why not take the girls as Ghostbusters and make it so they've already been Ghostbusters and that whole, this is how we get everything is established already because we already seen that twice, and just run with the new story.
Well, this story is supposed to be taking place, I believe, in the same universe.
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing. The studio came out earlier this week and said definitively this Ghostbusters does not take place in the same universe as the first Ghostbusters.
So the trailer just makes it
and
look
then
like
the trailer released and said 30 years ago,
Right.
the Ghostbusters did this.
Save New York City.
Yeah, save New York City. And now ghosts are back again, making it seem like they're in the same fucking universe.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little perturbed by that. I would like it to be in the same universe.
I don't know what it means or whatever.
If you made it in the same universe, you could tell another, like an original story with it, because you could have them Skyping with the guys in New York and having all this stuff shipped out. Like, they wouldn't have to create everything. They wouldn't have to figure all this stuff out that's already been made. You're just, oh, you've got a ghost trap. Congratulations, they had that already. Oh, you made yours look like a Venus flytrap. They're all traps. It's like that. But
Yeah. I don't know.
it just frustrated the hell out of me. Like, I want to see something new with it. I mean, go with, like, you have Ghostbusters. There's nothing going on. I don't know. Was there an extended universe after that? Were there books and stuff, like Ghostbuster books?
Oh, I'm sure there probably were, but
The cartoon, does that count?
There was a cartoon.
That's
yeah.
true. I do remember the cartoon. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but it's just like, do something different with it. Don't retell Ghostbusters over for me. Don't do that. Just do something different.
Well, the
And if her neck turned around like it did in that trailer, she'd be dead.
yeah.
So.
No, it's cool. She was being possessed by ghosts at the time.
Oh, right, but that apparently when you're possessed by ghosts, your actual bones don't. Yeah. Okay, it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm applying real life to a movie.
You are.
Yeah.
With giant neon colored ghosts.
Yeah. The one had total like
I don't
the face was just a troll face. She's just staring at it with this big smile and brrr. That was funny. But
Yeah, I don't know what new they're gonna realistically do with the Ghostbusters world. Like, I don't know what you really expect them to do. Like, let's tell a new story where another different badass ghost comes and does everything, or what? Like, what are you realistically new gonna do?
So let me get this straight, Ruby, because you can't think of anything new. Means that everybody else should also just go, oh, I guess there's nothing new.
Yes, correct. That's correct.
This is the reason why.
Because anything
this
that
is
they
the reason
do-
why you don't.
Anything that
write
they do
scripts.
is going to be a anything that you do, somebody will break down to be like, this is exactly the same as something else.
This is why you don't get paid to write scripts, Ruby. That's why.
Okay. All right.
they should pay you.
Admittedly,
to tear them
I don't
down.
either.
That's fine.
So, what can they realistically do differently? I'm not paid to do that job, but I want to see something different. goddammit.
Yeah. That's where I'm at right there. Yeah.
I agree with you. I want something different. I just don't know what they're going to do that's going to... Because, like, I don't know what the... Like, who's the main bad guy in this movie? From the trailer, we have no fucking clue, really. Ghost is
I
back.
saw Slimer, which means it's in the same universe.
We did see Slimer, yes.
Yeah,
They're-
way to go, guys.
Yeah, they're just. I don't know if Slimer's going to be a permanent fixture or not.
Or if he's just a throwback, just a little
Yeah.
like, hey guys, guess what? We got Slimer. Isn't that cool?
The whole movie's a throwback, is it? Never mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is. It is. I'm not going to disagree with your point that like they're doing the same thing again, and they're doing it like they're not even trying. They're not even trying.
They're not even trying.
They're not even trying. So I'll agree with that point. What I disagree with, for the most part, is one of the biggest comments that I've seen so far is like, "Hey, the last movie was kind of serious." I'm like, "No, it fucking wasn't. It was silly comedy.
Yeah.
It was always just silly comedy. There was no real horror aspect to it. Pretty much ever. I was like, I don't know."
No, you're absolutely correct. There's never a horror
Yeah.
aspect to Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
It never
the
has.
same-
It's never been a horror comedy. It's always just been a comedy with ghosts.
Yeah, it's the same, like, sort of comedic integrity exists in this one that existed in the last one.
Right.
So if that's your complaint,
Yeah.
then you're probably just sexist.
You know, I do think that it is a little. Maybe just too much '80s humor, and we've just grown up past that.
I think it's a lot
Or
of
we're
it.
just like comedy's a little more sophisticated these days. Maybe I don't know. In general,
Yeah, that could be right. You could be right.
and so the whole they ended the trailer. I didn't like the way they ended the trailer. I thought it was almost as bad as this Batman vs Superman trailer that ended with Eisenberg talking about how the red capes are coming or whatever. I thought that was a horrible end to the trailer. I thought this the moment where Leslie Nielsen is slapping Melissa McCarthy or whatever, and she slaps her once, and you see the ghost obviously leave her body, and it flew right in front of her face, so she would have obviously seen it again, but she slaps her again anyway.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I was like, this is your big moment. This is your see how funny this is.
Yeah.
This is your big let's leave it on a positive note with this big laugh moment. Like, that's not funny.
I thought the funniest...
wasn't funny.
I mean, that wasn't funny. There were some I think funny parts, specifically, Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, like the little back and forth when they're leaving the Ghostmobile.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Right, but see, that's like that's more like what the new sort of comedy is like. It's supposed to be like, and instead of that like basically slapstick or whatever, like and I'm like,
I think people. I'm okay with people saying, you know what, I wanted it to be darker this time around. I'm fine with that, as long as you admit to yourself that it wasn't darker back then. Like, you wanted to see an evolution of the Ghostbusters into something still funny, but a little bit darker, a little bit more serious, perhaps.
Ooh, that would have been kind of cool, just to see like.
I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with that as well. But don't say, hey, it should have been dark like the original. Shut up. The original wasn't dark.
They sprayed pink slime inside of the Statue of Liberty to fight a giant marshmallow man.
Yeah.
And they played music the whole time. Like, what is it, like the popular rock music at the time, I think.
Oh, there's a ton of popular 80s movies.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
So it's like
Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, it was not a dark film.
No, it wasn't. I mean, when you're sexually attracted to the main ghost boss person, it really can't be that dark.
Yeah.
Zool came out, you're like, oh, that's kind of hot.
Yeah. Sorry, Zool. All right. Yeah.
I'm like, yes, you are. Anyway, so
it seems like it's probably going to be disappointing overall. Like,
I think it probably is going to bomb.
We're going to see it because we have to.
We
it's
do.
Kind of our unpaid job. So.
The likes versus dislikes on the official trailer is the disparity is ginormous.
Was it over 300,000 dislikes to 100,000 likes?
There are twice as many dislikes as there are likes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. And like there's some guy crunching those numbers at the studio going, guys.
Okay.
It's too late.
Guys. Yeah.
It's too late.
This is going to bomb.
Yeah, they could always pull it. They pulled the interview.
Well, that's a little different.
It was kind of a death threat.
They've done it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But no, at this point, releasing it's still better than pulling it. So
I suppose it depends on how many death threats they get.
Oh, I bet the Gamergate people are probably going nuts about that. Females on TV.
Well, but they won't say that.
Right.
Anytime that they can hide their blatant sexism behind something, so it seems less blatant.
Right.
And this is like the perfect fucking opportunity to do so.
And I don't know why they're worried about it that much. Like with Donald Trump making it okay to be racist everywhere, that I don't understand why they're worried about being sexist.
That's a whole nother podcast.
The new America under Donald Trump, it'll be okay to be racist.
Oh God, please don't. Please, kidding about that actually hurts my head. Jesus.
He's gonna be president.
But yeah.
Speaking of, you said Nancy Reagan died today.
Yeah, Nancy Reagan died today. 94.
News over.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's not much else.
My response to that was just today. I thought it was like years ago that happened.
Now we can quit saying no to drugs.
Yes,
does that mean the war on drugs is over?
No,
no.
Absolutely not.
There's still a lot of money to be made on the war on drugs, and we can also keep minorities in prison that way. So, we're gonna keep doing that.
Gotcha.
There is,
as long as we can keep them in prison.
There's a bit of game news. Not really. It's more like just game talk. I know that No Man's Sky, which is I don't know, popular? No, just anticipated. It's a highly anticipated.
It is highly anticipated.
Indie game that boasts the ability to go to a endless universe, any planet in an endless universe.
Yeah.
It's procedural. I'm not sure if it's procedurally generated or if there's just so many damn planets you'll never be able. Like millions of people playing.
Generated.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it'd
be cool if you were that one guy that worked on the one planet that became a cult, or not a cult classic, but like became a game on the internet to find your planet.
Okay, so I want to talk about some of the cool things about this game, and then I want to talk about some of the things that...
How phenomenally boring it's going to be after the first 45 minutes.
Sure, yeah, exactly. But, so some of the really cool things. Number one, again, since it's procedurally generated, it's going to be truly endless. When you get to a planet, you can name it. That's pretty cool. The planets are fully realized, so when you see a planet, you actually have to, like, approach it, get into its atmosphere and land, and the entire time that planet's just getting bigger and bigger. It's fully realized, right? It's not one of these things where you get this crazy little cutscene. It's a fully realized planet. So when you see it from orbit, you can land on any point and then walk to any other point once you land.
Oh wow!
So I mean, the scope is huge for this game. It is ginormous, and the planets look to be pretty close to actual planet sized. On top of the fact that there's going to be billions and billions of them. Impressive? Yes.
Yeah, impressive.
Impressive.
Yeah,
I agree.
Now, what do you do after you find a planet and you name it? Who the fuck knows? They don't really talk about it. Every time they talk about what else you can do in this game, it's really vague. Like, you could be a trader or a pirate. Well, how do you do that? You could do it.
You could be whatever you want to be.
There's going to be other like fleets and spaceships, but with a universe this huge, the creator said you could go days without seeing another soul. Like, you can go days and days and days and nothing will happen. I'm like, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, no.
Bro, no, you get to look at cool new aliens and new pictures of new aliens. And
and the aliens are procedurally generated.
Right.
You know, those kind of work, like, they're not canned aliens. Their sounds are procedurally generated as well. It's kind of weird.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So you're not going to come across the same alien in a different world.
You might. You might still, but the thing is that, like, you could come across, like, a completely new alien with a completely different sound, like, every day as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of cool.
it's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, it'll be really cool for the
I think
first
you could go
hour
in-
and a half.
Well, I think what I would like to do, because I saw in the preview, like at the E3 preview or whatever we were watching, was it, what conference? Anyway.
There's E3.
Was it, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They're showing you go into this one new like solar system, and there's an interstellar war going on. Just back and forth, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Then you can engage some if you want, you can get through, but like...
But the question is, like, what can you do with your ship? Like, how far can I upgrade? Like, none of this is answered. There are no answers for a lot of what you can and can't do in the game.
I just think it'd be cool to come across that, but like that's one of those things you come across it once, you're like, oh, this is awesome. You come across it again, you're like, shit, I got killed last time I was in here. I gotta hurry up and get out of this. You know?
Exactly. Well, and it's gonna be far less cool when you're just always in a shitty ship that gets blown up.
Right.
We just don't know. We just don't. They're very vague about what you can and can't do. Like, some of the cool things about it is the environment's completely destructible. This guy's like firing and making giant fucking holes in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even
Now, does it stay? We don't know if you can go back.
I don't know. I don't know. There's so much we don't know. And then when the interview is when they interview the developer, they're like, "So, what was in your mind when you're developing this game?" He's like, "I don't know." The guy, he's like, "I just set out to make a really
The marijuana's...
yeah."
Well, it could be that he's lost in his own creation. I mean, it's so vast.
That's exactly what it is.
And it's just like, he probably had a purpose in the beginning, and then he just kind of went for, 6 years now? 7 years?
6 or 7 years, yeah.
Yeah.
The game just has really no direction, and that's how you're supposed to play it. So,
No direction. As opposed to One Direction.
oh god.
Podcast over.
But I don't know. I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this stuff because
I don't have any desire or interest to play, for the most part, open world games without direction. That's not what I pay for. I pay to play a story. That's what I'm here for. That's what I like to do. So I have no interest in playing No Man's Sky. Well, I'll watch videos occasionally. People are like, "Oh, look at this cool alien I discovered." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I'll watch the video for 5 minutes and be like, "Okay, I'm done. I've got my fill of whatever No Man's Sky is." So I really don't have any interest in it. I never have. Like, even from watching the previews, I was like, "Oh, billions of procedure-generated worlds. Okay, and what do we do?" Well, nothing. You just wander around and explore. That sounds boring as fuck. Okay, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't even know what kind of building you can do, if any. I don't know any.
Probably the only thing you can do.
We watched a video where a guy played for like 20 minutes the other day, and all he did was like
Explore.
land his ship, walk around, tag some aliens that he found, shoot a couple of them, shoot some holes in the ground, and then try and find his ship again to take off again.
He
That's
lost
it.
his ship.
And then he had.
Well, you can mark it. It's marked on your map.
He found it
You
again.
can find it. It's no problem.
But when the developer's with him, and he's like, "Yeah, so you can be a trader or a pirate, and we'll come back next time for another videos." Like,
Yeah.
because what else can he fucking say?
Yeah.
Like that's the problem with the game is I think it's going to be there's going to be a certain crowd that's going to love it. I think, but even those people are gonna get bored without being able to do more. Mm-hmm. They say you can trade. How do you do that? No one's talked about it. How do you do that? How do I trade stuff? Like, who am I trading it to?
What do we hope to accomplish with all of our trading?
Right.
Can you set up outposts and come back to it at certain points? Like, can you have warp periods?
Am I trading you Zeeborn meat for Gurgur meat? And what do I get? What does that matter?
Can I eat that meat?
Like, if I do it,
does it do anything?
Yeah,
there's
is there a reason why I'm trading you this stuff for your stuff?
I think it's going to be a lot like Minecraft without the building aspect and instead just exploring.
That would 20 minutes, and you're going to be like, this is cool. I paid how much for this? Shit.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to go on a little tirade about that because...
No, you're absolutely valid. I mean, give us a little bit more. Let us know what's up.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is more. At this point, like, I really feel there's probably not more, and that's the problem. And I feel like that's why I feel like he's like, need to be a trader or a pirate because he doesn't know what he's like, shit, I need to put something else in here, like give this people a reason and a purpose to explore, but I don't know what it's going to be yet, and I haven't really worked it out.
I'll do some more research. Maybe there's more information out there. Just every gameplay video, every interview I've seen with a developer doesn't have any real explanation. So maybe I'm out there and I'm just being super ignorant about it. And, there's going to be... And some of our phantom listeners that don't exist will be really pissed at me.
Right. But they'd be very angry.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we don't have any listeners.
I know.
We really don't.
But we do have followers on Twitch. We should do that more often.
Actually.
Yep.
Which, I don't know, if you guys follow us on the Twitch or whatever, we did go live a few times this past week.
Yep. We'll
play some Minecraft on there.
We should set it up on the calendar on the website.
We should.
Yeah. What to do twitching.
I'd rather not have a calendar because the moment you're like, hey, you need to Twitch this day, I'm going to be like, I don't want to. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Okay, we'll do it. All right. Yeah.
If you guys want to do it, feel free.
We'll just, Although it was kind of like we did a lot of mining, which is the basis of the game. But, when you watch a stream of that game, that's what you get.
Yeah.
If you're not building a giant farm or something. So.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, I had a lot of fun doing that. We actually put 2 episodes of the Let's Play up, so check that for Let's Play Minecraft. We have, on a Twitch thing, I think you can still go and watch our stream on the Twitch.
Yeah, and I'll probably stream something tonight.
Did you get your chicken fucker working?
Chicken fucker.
It doesn't fuck chickens, it cooks them, asshole.
Yeah, I did, actually. Thank you very much. Now I just have to build up enough chickens to actually make it worthwhile.
I guess it does make chickens fuck other chickens. So.
Yeah,
right.
It's a chicken fucker.
Yeah.
You're a chicken fucker.
Chicken fucker!
Anyways. You guys got anything else?
No, that's a shorter episode.
So. Alright, cool.
Daredevil comes out soon. Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, new Game of Thrones
2.
starts up too, doesn't it? Soon.
Game of Thrones starts up pretty soon, too. I'll be watching that.
I don't know if you guys are following. You guys don't watch
update.
Walking Dead or anything like that.
No.
I refuse to watch The Walking Dead because they knew how to beat the zombie plague a long time ago and they just refused to do it.
Fair.
I watched the first episode, I was like, hey, this is cool. I watched the second episode, I'm like, who's this Lori bitch? I watched the third episode, I'm like, I'm fucking done with this.
Over it.
To
make you feel better, they win the zombie apocalypse by killing Lori in the middle of season 3 or 2. They successfully defeat the zombie apocalypse by killing Lori. But
almost. Not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Although the big hot thing is Rick hooked up with Michonne.
Yeah, I did read that Rick and Michonne hooked up.
Yeah. So
I wonder how that makes all the Walking Dead fans feel.
Considering that it was supposed to be Andrea, but Andrea died a long time ago.
Who did you hook up with?
Michonne is the black chick with the samurai sword. She's a badass.
Oh.
She's the black female version of Daryl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's it.
Yeah, she hooked up with Rick.
Yeah, they're like chilling on the couch, all of a sudden, sex time. All right, well.
And then halfway through, he was like, Coral! You got laid, Coral!
Coral got shot in the face.
Is he gone?
His eyeballs are gone.
No.
I think he's still alive, but like
one of his eyeballs got shot out.
That kid gets fucked up.
The kid
Poor
needs to just
guy.
die.
He got shot with a hunting rifle, survived.
Well-
Shot in the face with a Magnum, survived. Oh.
Let's face it, he's got the worst parents. He
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah, it's like Deadpool said. I mean, at what point do you think it's just not bad parenting?
Right.
But all right, let's end this here now. Check us out at Stitcher, Random Subject Generator. You can find it at RSG Podcast on Stitcher, YouTube at RSG Podcast, Facebook, Random Subject Generator, and Twitter at RSG Podcast. Check us all out. Or just go to the RSGPodcast.com where you can get access to all the above. So, yeah, have a good night, and yeah. Shit.
And yeah.
And yeah.